Waiting for you to arrive again.
Hey guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King here with a revamped defense build for my Link Joker. Again, this is part of the blitz I'm doing right now, as you can probably tell from the terrible lighting that is in my room. I didn't realize it was this bad. I'm going to have to get another light bulb in here. I've only got one, and it's not looking too good. Such is life. So basically what we have here is Micro Hole Draco Kit. This is the ultimate defensive deck for Link Joker, and that's what I'm showing off here. And you'll see how defensive it is. Like, it is one of those things. I lose more to deck outs than I do to people killing me. Straight up. Micro Hole Draco Kit. If you ride it with a Gravity Ball Dragon, search for top 7 for a Gravity Collapse or a Schwarzschild, or put it, if it's not that, you can just pull it down. 4 draw. You know, it's just a ride chain, Gen 3 ride chain. Gen 4 ride chain? Yes. Gen 4. Molybdenum. Crits. More crits. 4 heals. Best art. Or it's good art. I don't know. You're asking too many questions. I've combined Schwarzschild up with Infinite Zero just to see how he runs. With Clear Out Starbaiter, Boromin. He only really works with when you have Infinite Zero on the Vanguard. In this case, but in this case, but what he does is retire this unit at the end of the turn if you have a grade 3 Starbaiter Vanguard, and the opponent has a lock card, which they will. You may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card with Infinite and ride it tapped, shuffle deck. I forgot to do something. So basically, it guarantees infinite, and if you're running infinite on infinite, that means that you break ride right there if you're at 4 damage. And by the way, this deck encourages you to like hit 4 damage and then just stop them there. Especially since infinite doesn't use any counterblasts. It's pretty great. Yeah, it's good. It's a -1, but it's a good -1 because that means they won't be able to attack you when they have the front and back row locked. Throwdown Dragon. When this unit is placed on G-Zone, Guardian Circle, sorry, and you have 2 locked units on your opponent's side, it gets a 10k defense boost, 10k shield. So it's a 15k shield blocker. It's nice. I mean, sure, things like Metalborgs will say, you can't use grade 1s or higher. Well, that's fine. You've got interceptors, but for now, it's really annoying to deal with this guy because I play him as early as I can and basically keep myself at the 4 damage, which means I can take a damage if I need to, and risk even a Vanguard, but it's not the best choice. He does work. He's probably one of the best cards around for this sort of work, even though this deck does not boost at all. It's pretty bad at it, actually. For Gravity Ball Dragon, plus it's an AK when you have Micro Hole in the Soul. Also, if you don't ride Gravity Collapse Dragon, you can look at the top 7 for a Gravity Collapse Dragon and ride it. So if you miss your ride, it's not the end of the world. So you can choose a Schwarzschild and then not get it and then still search. But however, it is a -1 to your hand, so be careful. 4 Perfect Shields. This is the one that can block anything and doesn't require any shenanigans. Astro Reaper. Starvator. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the attack hits a Vanguard. You may pay the cost if you do. Search top 5 for someone with the same name as it. Schwarzschild. Reveal it to your opponent. Put him in the bottom of the deck in any order. Got to be careful about this sometimes, but fortunately you have a couple cards that can shuffle. And it can work at any point in the game. Lightspeed Cheetah. Choose a rear guard that is not being attacked and lock it. When this unit intercepts, you may pay the cost. If you do, plus 10k. So basically he's a 15k interceptor. So let's say that they're attacking you. Some Metalborg guys beefed himself up to 50k. So what you do is you lock 2 units, 30k intercept, and then you start slapping down zeros until they can't hit. Because here's the thing about Metaporks, you don't want them to hit ever if you can avoid it, but sometimes you just gotta take it to the face. There is a funny video called War of Kings between me and Chance Thulin, the Comeback King, where basically we're both just taking it to the face. And the only reason I won those fights was that I Miracle Healed. It was really good times. It's a good video. You should check it out. This part 2 should be pulling up sometime. So, yeah, he's useful. Really useful. Gravity Collapse Dragon. 10k if you've got Gravity Ball in the soul. And then when this unit rides Gravity Ball, by the way, if you have to search it out from the top 7, it doesn't count as a ride, because basically you don't remove the grade 2. So it's ridden, the ability goes off. You ride this, ability doesn't go off. But if you were to do it, you would lock it. Also, I seem to pull these out a lot, so who knows. 10k defense is nice. Again, defense. I'll do him last. I run 4 infinite zeros. It's a break ride. When a Link Joker rides this unit, switch out. You can lock front row, back row, and then the Vanguard gets plus 10k. When this unit attacks, plus 2k, so it's a 13k attacker for the Vanguard, or more. 17k, let's say. And he worked with the Infinite Zero Stride and the Infinite Zero Grade 1 support that I have in here. And I'll talk about those in their due time. But basically, he helps early locks. And let's say you break ride on break ride and then use Baroman to break ride once more. That means they're only going to attack you with the Vanguard, and you're very prepared for that. You can just perfect shield, slap down some turn down dragons. No. Schwarzschild Dragon. Is this the SB? Yeah. Limit break 4. Counterblast 3 and discard Schwarzschild Dragon. Choose up to 3 of your opponent's rearguards. Lock them plus 10k and a critical. So basically, you break ride, lock 2, 10k to Vanguard. By the way, that's free. It's free. 10k to Vanguard, so it's 21k. And then plus 10k and a crit, so it's 31k, and you've locked their field. If this was a Glendio's turn, they'd be so dead next turn or so. Also, Counterblast Woman's units placed on Vanguard. You may pay the cost if you do look up top 5 cards of your deck, search for a Schwarzschild, reveal it to your opponent, put it into your hand, shuffle deck. Plus 1k with the Gravity Ball. That's a lot of stuff there, but he's a lot of fun and he does a lot of work. And of course, his discarding of himself to lock 3 units means that you're automatically only having to deal with the Vanguard, which is a very good position to be in if you're Link Joker. The only problem is that he is a Counterblast 3, so you can't really spam the ability, and I don't really have any unflip. But that's okay. I'm not worried about that. The winning image isn't him using the ability, it's having 2 locked units and just keeping that going. Yeah. He's also a 10k natural, which means Madhu worked. Madhu, basically, if you have a 10k original power and you stride it, you can summon a grade 3 from the drop zone into your hand. He's my good first stride. If I don't have Infinite Zero, I use Madhu. Big Crunch Dragon, Nebula Dragon, Big Crunch Dragon. I run 4. Counterblast. If this is the choose a face down, flip it face up. If the number of face up cards in your G zone is 2 or more, choose one of your opponent's rearguards. Fascinating. Okay, if the number is 2 or more, choose one of your opponent's rearguards and lock all the column. And those cards cannot be unlocked until next phase. So really it is a G-Break 2. You can lock stuff. And they will be Nebula locked. This is pretty great. I like him a lot. He does work. He's probably the best stride for Link Joker by himself. That doesn't say Amnesty Messiah isn't good. I'm just saying in general. For all situations. And then Death Star Vader. Quintessence Dragon. Counterblast, Soul Blast. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, if you have a hard card with Infinite, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose a rearguard from your opponent's front row and back row and lock them. So you're automatically at 2, which means you can use Turn Down, Dragon, and a few other things. Then if the number of cards in your damage zone is 4 or more, then they become Omega locked. So basically, let's say that you run this guy with Burrowman. You don't need to break ride. You pay Infinite Zero to stride him, Counterblast, Soul Blast, because you only need to keep the grade 2 in the soul, which is why I only run 3, funnily enough. Huh. And then you do your thing, lock. And then you use your Burrowman to break ride, lock. So they're basically only dealing with the Vanguard. It's great. It's fantastic. This guy does work. I combined these two guys up to create the ultimate Link Joker defensive deck, and I have succeeded. This deck is pretty unbeatable. However, you have to be able to play it right and know when to take the risks. Also, you gotta be careful with some of these unlocked, as you'll fall right into any of Messiah's hands. However, I have used locks to prevent rear guards, like boosters and stuff like that, from being killed by Kagero with the interceptors. There we go. Words. Alright. Well, that's it for this deck, and I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try. It is a budget deck, so it's good. See ya.